All right, guys, today it's going to be a little bit different. So the last couple days I've been out here building a greenhouse up here in Maine. But today we are actually going to be meeting with Zachary Fowler. He is a survivalist. He's done a lot of these challenges where he goes out into the woods and basically just tries to live off of it for like 30 days. So we connected and he's going to take us out on a classic sort of Maine journey. So we're going to meet up with him. We're gonna get some lobster, hopefully. So Maine lobster, trapped fresh. We're gonna forage up some supplies to eat with it. And the plan is to cook it on the beach. So it should be an interesting, exciting episode. It's not going to be directly gardening adjacent. So I'm just giving you guys a little heads up. Should be a really good time, should be interesting. And you're going to get to see some really beautiful parts of that Maine coastline. And we'll see what we get. I really don't know what's going to happen. My expectations are high, but I don't have anything set in mind. So last little view of this greenhouse. I'm glad we got that finished up in time because we're gonna go meet up with Zach now and we're gonna go on a little adventure. So we just got to Zach Fowler's place here. I've got my serious boots on because we're about to get on a boat. I see him right over there. Let's go say hi and see what the plan is for today.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey man, nice to meet you, yeah. So what's our kind of plan here?
We're gonna go out. We're gonna go to my lobster traps in Rockport Harbor.
Okay.
I put some bait in them. Some days there's tons of them and they're full, and other days there's tons of them and they're full, but they're all like undersized or something.
Well, I'm like a total amateur at any of this. I haven't fished since I was probably like a teenager. I've definitely never set a pot for anything. Before we hit the high seas, we stopped at a local grocery store and grabbed all the supplies we needed for our lobster cookout, including garlic, butter, some tasty little snacks, and also they had wild fiddlehead ferns, which is something I've always wanted to try, so you know I'm going to be excited to cook that later. All right, we got a whole box of goodies here. Now we're gonna go launch the boat and check the traps.
Let's go have an adventure.
All right, guys, first boat launch of my life. Which I have to say was quite easy considering Zach did all the work, and all I had to really do was hold onto the line and make sure the boat didn't float away. So you could set your traps actually like within the bay?
I can set them anywhere. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to set them in and around here. Somebody be running them over all the time. But it's all about setting them where the lobsters are. And
right, on rocks and
I've always found it most successful out by the lighthouse in the rocks, because at different times they're moved into the rocks and they shed. And then they grow their new shells and move back out.
Got it.
And so it's a game. I don't usually move them much. I'd be more successful sometimes if I did, but yeah.
Definitely a little chillier than San Diego, but I'm glad I got my fleece lined pants. I'm feeling pretty cozy. If I didn't have them, I'd be definitely chilled. This is the first time I've done this.
Yeah.
And I'm getting used to it, but when I take them off,
There it is.
Everything feels different. Oh, we got the buoy.
Here we go. That's our first lobster trap. So if you see right here, that purple?
Yeah.
That purple is for the whales. So they know to avoid it. I'm just kidding.
I was like,
no,
what?
It is for the whales, but it's a government thing. So that way, if they find one of these ropes around it, they can identify where the whales are going better.
Oh,
and
so
then
purple's the code for this region?
Yeah. So like, it has that, and then as I pull it up, this is our sinking line right here. And then when I get further down...
Yeah, I was wondering if it sinks on its own.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it floating around.
Yeah, because it's designed to sink. There's more purple here.
I see.
And then this is a whale shackle. And this thing will break so that the whale...
If it does get tangled?
The rope should come off of it if it breaks.
I see.
And then down at the bottom, this is sinking line. So this is floating line. This floats up from the bottom so my trap doesn't get tangled with the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So sinking line, does it have like weight embedded in it?
No, it's just the style of rope that allows it to sink. And then there's more purple down here.
Gotcha. Oh, wow.
Then we get to the bridle and then our trap, which is full of crabs this time. This one is at least. So we got our bait bag and got our first little fella here.
So what kind of crab is that?
Jonah crab. We'll probably get some bigger ones than this. All right, trap 2. Now this is the super shallow one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like we're getting shallow over here.
We'll see if
that's gonna pay off.
Maybe there was some in here.
Pretty exciting because you're pulling it and you just don't know what you're gonna get.
I know, every time,
right?
Yeah, it's just like being out on a survival adventure too. I'm always like you set a trap and then you want to see what you get. Like nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Not even a crab.
I don't think I like this spot. We're gonna take this one with us.
All right.
Here we go. Third trap. Oh, we got a lobster. And look at the size of those crabs.
Wow, those ones are definitely bigger. Is that 1 lobster, 3 crab?
That's 1 lobster and 3 definitely keeper crabs.
Wow.
So
is that a keeper?
It is a female. We have to no notch on the tail. She looks small. All right, so it has to go snapped by the eye. And if it snaps over the back, you can't keep it. So she doesn't snap over the back of her carapace, it's a keeper.
Oh, nice.
We got 1 keeper. Woo. Yeah, that's it. It locks onto the carapace. That's the exact measure of 1 keeper.
Wow.
It's not a huge
Beautiful
one. So that's the smallest, literally.
The smallest you could keep?
Probably the smallest you could ever keep, you know? That's exactly a keeper.
That's beautiful too.
But
a lot of blues in there too.
Yeah, look at just the color of those. The orange and the blue on the legs and stuff. Now, these are some great Jonah crabs. Check these guys out.
Those claws are way bigger.
These are so much bigger. Those are some, in fact, they're so big, if we get a couple more, I might just chuck the smallest two back in. They'll survive for quite a long time. So you can see on the thing right here, see the trap going down?
You can see the line.
Yeah. 1 lobster.
All right.
This is gonna be another keeper. This one's a male. And this one's gonna be, he's too small. See how it fits over his back? Right. Yeah. He's gonna have to go back.
We still got the experience of going out here and seeing the traps and seeing how it all works.
Yeah.
So I feel perfectly content with that. And with our massive bounty of seafood in tow, we pulled up to the harbor, got the boat loaded up, but before we left, we made sure to grab some of this local seaweed because we were going to use it to help steam the lobster and crab that we were cooking later. So we're here on the back half of this property where he's got his garden beds and what'd you call it right now?
Garden nightmare?
Garden nightmare.
You know, like Gordon Ramsay's kitchen nightmares, we got garden nightmares. It's spring, I should have already prepped these, and I did have the young kids that work for me come out and pull out some of the weeds and rake the leaves out so we could get at what we got going on here. We got like a little bit of garlic.
Yeah, it looks like the whole head.
In. Yeah, that left in for maybe 2 years and it's died.
Keeps multiplying.
And multiplying, and so it's like, so we just got
that's a nice little bush of garlic right here. But I love the look of these logs. They're also like really nice, right? And I love this natural look. And I think over there, you might even have some sorrel that's coming up. That's looking good too.
I forgot that was even in here.
That's great because that's a perennial. That'll keep coming back for you. I think if you cleared out, you could easily plant all sorts of things in this. Like this soil is definitely rich enough. Even if you start small, like since you're off the ground, the drainage shouldn't be too bad. But I mean, nightmares are fixable. Like, all you have to do is get the top cleared off and you're ready to go again.
Yeah, you put some time into it.
And then we got the big old compost pile. So this, like, I'm sure when this is fully broken down, like...
It's been like 4 years because mostly I've been using those bins. But I got sick of those rotating bins. Yes. They tend to get full of bugs. Yeah. They get mucky. They take a lot more maintenance than it's worth. And in the end, it's just easier to have a big cage area
that let it settle down.
A lot of oxygen and as much as possible. It'll be, I mean, the big dream is to have a big cement bunker, you know, and then you move in with your midi skid steer and you flip it from one space to the next and then you restart and you got like something
serious pile.
Yeah, you're getting more oxygen to it. It happens a lot faster. And in the past, when I lived up in the woods, I would build ones like this out of like hurdle wattle fencing, out of sticks from the woods. And I'd get them about this high and I'd fill them full of just everything, just layering it on, the leaves, the old garden stuff, you know, everything, just fill it full. And then I cover it with soil. And I'd plant right into it.
Oh, I thought that grew really well.
And I'd make a big wad of whatever, you know, some fresh compost from our chicken or pigs and stuff like that. And then I put soil on top of that so it wasn't directly touching it.
Gotcha.
And so midsummer, as the roots kept tapping into it, they were safe enough. They weren't getting burned.
Right.
And these things would just fruit right out with just so much beautiful food. You know, it was like, it was amazing. And then they'd sink back down like 2 feet by the end of the year. And I'd top them back up and start again the next year.
So we headed down to the local lake where Zach has a little camp set up. So we collected a nice little pile of dead branches before Zach showed me how to start a fire using nothing more than just a bunch of twigs and a little flint.
I'll show you how to do it. Okay. And then I'm going to have you do it. So what we're going to do is, for the sake of you being able to nail it. So if I was doing it, I'd probably actually get some finer birch bark. So you might notice that some of this, but you got to break it up and really fluff it up so it's really fine. So you want like a certain bit of it. You really want that stuff that's like that was off of a dead down one.
Yeah,
off a fresh one that's like slightly curled. And that's when you work it in your hands back and forth.
Do you got like a curl?
Well, yeah, because I don't have too many, without going and stripping them all naked.
Yeah, I know.
We'll use one of my fire tinders.
Okay.
And my fire starter necklace. And I'll start one of the pieces and then I'll showing you and then have you do it.
Okay.
So this is a waxed card of like lanolin.
Okay.
It's like a wax card of some sort of a fibery stuff that allows you to put a spark to it, and it burns kind of like having a candle that's a candleized piece of fabric. So what I do is, this is my fire starter necklace. So there's the ferrocerium rod right here.
Oh, it's actually the...
And then they have a striker right there, which is ceramic. So that's super sharp. And boom, there's your spark. Not a lot of spark. It's all about the prep work. The same as we have our tiny pile.
Okay.
Which now that I'll move it over here to where I can reach it, and I'll have you do it. And then our secondary pile and our third pile. So that way, if it's raining, you do all this prep work so that, because you get it one spark, one light, and then one fire going good. You don't want to have to do it twice, 3 times, fail to manage it.
Now you're making some extra surface area by pulling the threads?
Yeah, so I'm scraping the wax off and making fine ends, the same way I would with a birch bark, or say I was in the wild, I'd probably just grab a reed head, and if there was some reeds around, or a cattail, and things like that, and you prep them up by getting some nice fluffy pile of that stuff.
You want as much fiber as possible, basically.
So get that all ready, get it all fibrous, and then you take it and put it together. And what I like to do is I'll take it, because you're going to have to pick it up after you light it.
Yeah.
And so I put it on a stick and wrap it around the stick. And now it's like a little stick candle. And stuff.
Okay.
And so if I've prepped it enough.
Like you're making a match or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you got your little thing, and then you set it down.
And so we're trying to light the tip here.
Yeah, so we're trying to get hopefully a single spark on it,
The one spark, if you hit it right,
one spark, if it's hit right, is good. So I hold this in my hand. That's good and stable. And I'm looking for that sharp edge to go down here. And I don't have to, and I'm pulling that back and this forward, but only a very small movement. So it's all about bracing yourself in just the right spot.
I see.
And one good boom.
Wow.
Like that. And then it's lit, and then you can put it into there. So I'll have you do it. You'll put this over here, and then you're going to take your pile, and you're going to put it on top, and you're going to hold it there, with your hand just out of the way until it starts to get on fire, and then very loosely let it set down. So you want to hold it there as long as you can.
Okay. And that wax off.
Yeah, you can even flip it over the paper and stuff
get both sides.
Kind of like scrape some fibers out of it.
How's that look? Pretty fibery?
That looks good. Now pop it onto take a little piece of stick and make it into your little holder. There you go. And I would just bend that up, that just a little bit like that. You're going to try to put that there. So move that out of your way. Perfect. In your hand down here, and you push that against your thumb.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So you're good and solid. Perfect. Yep.
And then so I go, I'm pulling back and kind of flicking with that.
Yeah, there you go. There you got it. All right, pop that right into the middle.
I'm going to cheat and use your extra piece there.
Yeah, right there. And then hold that over top of the fire. That's good. Get your fingers back as far as you can so you put as much, get it right down there on top of it. There you go. And today, as nice as it is, you could just kind of let it go. And if we were rainy...
Yeah, it's burning. That's good.
Yeah, go ahead and let her go. Or hold it up a little bit as you're going. There you go. I think we got it.
Would you blow on it or let it do its thing?
I just let it do its thing. And then you take... that's why I like to prep it all up, because then the next step is the same thing. I take this bigger other pile, and I get it over top of it.
You're not trying to rush it.
No, and I hold that over top of that to dry it out. And so it still has as much oxygen as possible, and not just drop it on there and accidentally smother it. So now you can see this one has small sticks mixed with it and big sticks. As much as I can, I slowly move my fingers out and lowering it down onto there. Now that's protected and pretty solid. I can put the next ones on. And usually I'll do all this. I get it going. And now that took me, 1 minute after we started loading it.
I didn't realize it was that easy.
And then I just walk away from it and go start prepping my other stuff.
Wow.
For cooking and things.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I could start a fire that easily.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. First fire, not bad. did have an expert who survived 87 days alone in Patagonia help me learn how to do it. But once you know, you know, and that's really cool.
All right, so here's some ammo. So what you're gonna do is, I'll show you with your slingshot first, because mine has I have a long draw, which makes it super powerful. So you're gonna put your ammo in there and hold it like that. You're gonna make a thumbs up, set it on top of there, and then close your thumb up. You don't want, the thing is you don't want it to be down behind here because it jumps over your finger and then hits the frame. So that's the trick, is you have just the ammo pinched, and it's not tucked in there too deeply. So you get your good pinch on your ammo.
Does it matter if the bands are like twisted at all or anything like that?
You want them to be not twisted. See how they're straight from here forward? So we'll keep an eye on that. Then you're gonna draw it down and away from yourself, and then you bring it up and you sight down the bands with this locked on your cheek. Sight down the bands and line up the target off the end of this.
Off the top edge?
Yeah, and then you're gonna shoot. And when you shoot, I'll shoot over here, hit the can for our shoot. You shoot, you have it all locked off, you're all good. You let go, and you try to count to 1, because a lot of people, they'll shoot and they'll go,
oh, jerk it.
Yeah, and don't follow through. So you'll shoot, and also you're gonna wanna make sure your toes are in line with the target. You're fully on sideways. You're not like this and then turning to do it. So give that a try, and then I'll help you follow through with it.
Like this?
Yes, perfect. Yep, and then line that up on the can. I wanted you to hit that first try. I saw it. I was like, oh, first try, you know?
All right, second try.
That was really good.
So put it in, and then I give it a nice pinch.
Yep, there you go.
And then elbow up.
Yep, perfect. You hit it.
Oh.
Or the stump.
I hit the stump.
You hit
Something
the stump?
moved. Yeah. Down. There it is.
Third try. All right,
Thanks, man.
Third try.
Yeah, it cracked that can open too.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Yeah, you got kind of natural on that. That was like so fast. You know, lobsters are done. We'll bring them over here to cool off.
Oh, you can see the color.
So you can tell when they're done is when you can grab onto one of their antennas, and it's just like, boom, they pop off. And that's it. So without having to temp them and all that stuff, get too carried away, especially when you got a big pot with lots of stuff in it.
How are our potatoes looking?
Our potatoes are ready too. We'll keep them on the warmer.
All right. So
and then let's go finish up the slingshot real quick, and then we'll put the butter on and we're ready to eat.
Woo! Backflip on that can.
Yeah, go ahead. Looking good. Bring it up. Sight down the bands. Bring this further down your cheek below and lean your head further over the band. Bring your head down a little bit. And line that up on the target. So you're aiming for lying that point right on the center of the target.
Ooh, first try.
First try. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, dude.
Simple, bro.
Killed it.
Oh my. To do this, I'll show you. So this is your best lobster picker right there, that little hook. Take off the claw. So grab that other claw. We won't need them for the claws as much. We'll start with the claws. Cheers. And take it, and you're gonna go and
just past.
Crack it. Yep.
Ooh, that juice.
Yeah, and it's gonna juice straight down. So either aim it at a friend or aim it straight down.
Whoa.
There you go. And you're just trying to break it a little bit. You're not trying to crush too much, and then you break it apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then we break this. Yep, you got it all. Okay. So it came the opposite way out. Mine stuck to the other end of it. And then there is a little piece of cartilagey thing in there. And see if you can't get it out of there. Okay, so this is where that comes in. So use this tool as a picker and pull it out of there. All right, and then we just take this, dip it in our butter. That's it.
Go.
See.
That is good.
First lobster of the year.
Yeah. That's, I think, the first lobster I've had as an adult. The seasoning's great. Fiddlehead, really good. It has it's such a familiar flavor. Something else I've had. Can't think of what it is.
I think it has a slightly like a flower bud flavor. Like there's certain flower buds that you can eat, right? That have that.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
This
those
is
are so good.
quite the experience today. From beginning to the end. We caught this. We got the fresh fiddleheads. We'll get into this guy in a minute, but that lobster, man, that is good stuff. Thank you for taking me on this day. Having this like little Maine experience that I got to experience. I don't think I could I've never had anything quite like this before. I got to shoot the slingshot, got this tasty seasoning.
We almost got stuck out at sea, but we made it back, you know?
Everything is so good. I think it tastes probably 10 times better since we worked for it.
Yeah, we earned it. We really earned it, didn't we?
Wow.
It's cold, it's cool.
But it feels good right now.
Super Maine spring.
Let's do a final cheers with the potato here. Thank you.
Cheers.
Incredible day in Maine. Zachary Fowler here. This channel has, if you like this is just a teeny little slice of what he does. So check it out. Slingshots. I'm going to be plinking at home for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for this awesome day, man.
You're welcome.
Incredible. See you guys next time.